I don't even know what possessed me to watch this clip when it came across my feed. The degree to which this improved my quality of life over the past few days is remarkable. So if you haven't seen it,
imagine a black void.
if you haven't seen it, this is an interview that they did with Out.com during the Wicked press tour.
One of the regular couple stars together having fun. They probably have like a game called like, can you guess the number of
And this
beaches?
is probably one of like 100 interviews they did this day.
It's probably 7 a.m.
I've seen this week people are taking the lyrics of Defying Gravity and really holding space with that and feeling power in that.
I didn't know that was happening.
I've seen it, yeah.
That's really powerful. That's what I wanted.
Holding the finger.
I didn't know that was happening.
I've seen it on a couple posts. I don't know.
As the credits play. That is cool.
There's a lot of things about this that catapulted it into meme superstardom.
It's edited like a YouTube boob.
It's edited like a YouTube.
It literally looks like a fake edit. It keeps cutting to different angles.
Between two ferns, like like Zach Galifianakis interviews. Ariana comforts Cynthia by grabbing onto her index finger.
We've all been there.
She says that this week people have been holding space for the lyrics of Defying Gravity.
Which is what?
What does that mean?
And it's what I wanted.
Also, it is a 20-year-old song.
They really should have been holding space for it till it came out again. Now they don't have to hold the space anymore.
Dude, the space was vacant for so long. But then also Cynthia's response being so grand and so like emotionally, Cynthia's so moved by this revelation,
which I am struggling to translate at all. Still, kind of.
Yes, Angie says that's what I wanted, which is like, what does it even mean?
It'd be better if she was like, for fuck's sake, I don't want them holding space. No, I don't want that.
But then the interviewer is clearly taken aback. So then they almost back off their own thing by being like, well, it was a couple of bones.
Yeah, because it has the exact energy of that, we really need a mamala right now. But then it's like if Kamala then went, oh yeah, okay, and then Drew Barrymore went, okay, wait.
We do need a mamala right now.
All right, relax.
Well, no, it's like if Drew Barrymore was like, we need a mamala right now, and Kamala was like, that's what I wanted.
Okay, all right, let's chill out. Don't go crazy.
I mean,
I've seen a couple posts.
But then obviously, like, this is just a funny sort of lightning. I don't think anyone did anything wrong here. It's just like such a funny lightning in a bottle moment. Another thing about this now, so this has become a huge meme. There's like a million. I was blowing up our group chat with my entire Twitter feed just became holding space for the lyrics to Defying Gravity memes, and then photos of the finger,
which is what you wanted.
Which is what I wanted. And now this journalist is like talking about merch for this. They also in an interview reveal. This was wild to me. This quote, do you recall any of the posts? So they call her on it, an interview of this journalist. Do you recall any of the posts that inspired your question for Cynthia and Ariana? Should we talk about the lyrics of Defying Gravity, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Something has changed within me. Something I can't explain.
Well, how do you know?
Exactly. I knew you were going to ask that. Because there's a little show called Glee. The first time I heard Defy Gravity was Leah Michelle and whoever was singing it with her. Do you recall any of the posts that inspired your question for Cynthia and Ariana? Most of it actually came from a conversation with a friend. That is not a post.
That's a lie then.
I was using that to tee up the question, which is very funny because you're trying to say something that's like kind of basic. Yeah, so the streets are saying,
from what I heard,
yeah, and that's just a way of saying, people are talking about it.
Also, that's everything in an interview. I was trying to tee up it wasn't just an unrelated anecdote that I saw.
Yeah, I got
a Danish this morning.
That's what I wanted. When someone, I was a little thrown off by Cynthia's response because it was so sincere and real.
What did you want?
I understand being thrown off because if you think you're doing an off-the-cuff thing and then someone has like a large emotional reaction to it, you're kind of like, whoa.
Okay, Jesus. Yeah, I actually just got back from vacation. Like, I remember the last vacation I took with my family before the event. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
I mean, sorry, did I say vacation? I meant stay racing.
Yeah, they died racing.
It was a
NASCAR event.
Fuck. I killed him. I got a little flustered.
I had a big reaction.
I was a little flustered. I could have said, I have all these friends and this is our conversation, but instead I said, I'm in queer media. That's the other part. As at the end, she says, I'm in queer media, which also people are playing with.
But this also is so relatable. It's like me saying, oh yeah, I read this article, and then someone's like, oh, what article was it? And I'm like, I actually read a tweet.
I saw a screenshot of an article.
I don't know how to read.
Those are situations where I almost, as it's coming out of my mouth, I know I want to say I was like reading something, and I'm like, I was listening to a podcast, let's be honest. You know, it's like I wasn't reading shit. And if I read it, it was a headline. You know what I mean?
I was watching CNN. Well, I was watching a cut down of Hassan watching CNN.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't so much watching it as my comfort YouTuber was watching it, and I was there.
Well, actually, I was just having dinner when what I mean is I was eating over the sink and crying.
My flight just got delayed by like 30 minutes, and they went on the loudspeaker and they told everyone, but they didn't give us a reason. But in my head, I can only imagine that the pilots are probably taking the lyrics of Defying Gravity and holding space with them, and that's what's taking so long right now.
There's a funny thing that happens where, obviously this could have been a tweet, but there's a funny thing that happens when there's a meme like this. I can't remember if I tweeted anything or I just drafted and deleted. It is a land grab. Basically, it's one of those times where every joke is acceptable and all you have to do is be fast.
Yeah.
Well,
it's kind of a plug-in too, right? You just plug it into whatever.
Yeah, not now, sweetie. Mommy is taking the lyrics of Defying Gravity and really holding space.
Format.
Yeah, it's like
exactly
run through the templates. What do we have? Advice animals. Will that
for example,
work here?
like I don't know that this is a tweet, but I bet someone said, "Sorry, I'm late. I was busy holding space for the lyrics of
100%.
Defying Gravity." You know what I mean?
Like
Well, somebody was able to snipe that early, and it's like, okay, we got to work. What other real estate is available
Any of those
here?
faceless Twitter accounts that just have like the insert Mad Lib.
What's everyone's diagnosis for what that means? I'm curious. Everyone's been holding space for the lyrics.
After much research and reading the interviewer's quote, I think what she's saying is being a queer person in queer media with queer friends, that these lyrics are very powerful for someone who has been othered their whole life.
It is a more contemporary poetic way of saying it's resonating with people.
Yes.
Because holding space is like a it's one of those things that's like borderline
therapy
medical.
street.
Like it is, it's treated
and
like
that's
pragmatic.
fine. I mean, like that's immediately where I go is like talking about with my therapist about like a single point of attention and like holding space for my feelings and my thoughts and sitting with them and like what do they mean, how do they affect, like all that stuff. And so applying it to the lyrics of a musical is funny on its face, but like of course the lyrics of a song can have meaning to someone, and that's exactly but
there is especially online appealing, I guess the aesthetic of that pseudo-therapy speak is more, I don't know, it hits harder for a certain demographic.
But I feel like they're using it wrong.
well it's
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Holding space for them.
it exists in this
lyrics.
liminal space, no pun intended, where like the it feels like parody a little bit because it while it does there is like a valid, like I don't want to invalidate someone quite literally like finding meaning and resonance with the lyrics of the song from the musical Wicked,
Or any song.
or
if
any
they
song.
do. Sure.
It's funny to apply what would otherwise be. It's almost like it's a little too woke.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
it's
where it's like you could have just said people are really fucking with it. You know what I mean? Like
Which should be allowed because it is equally valid to enjoy something for its just base intended reason, which I'm not saying it's any less than that. Clearly, it's
song is a
about
banger,
expression.
by the way. We'll say.
and is welcoming.
I'm gonna hold space for the music of Defying Gravity.
And as you say, it's like it is a validating song about embracing who you are, etc. But it is, I think, if I were to transmute that over to The Greatest Showman, and say that like this is me. I'm really holding space for when that bearded lady sings that.
In 2009, I was quite literally holding space about 3.5 megabytes for the lyrics and music of Defying Gravity, sung by Leah Michelle and the cast of Glee.
It's a
On my iPod Touch.
pretty efficient file size. Yeah.
I didn't have an iPod Touch. It was an iPod Video, first generation. Okay,
So unfortunately, I saw this interview and these memes before I saw the film. And so when this very moving performance starts, all I could think of is I'm holding space for this. And I whispered it to my friend, and she was kind of like, not now.
Oh,
Weeping openly.
She was like,
she was holding space.
And she's like, it's ruined for you. Now you're ruining it for me.
Right. She was quite literally holding space.
Yeah.
She doesn't laugh, and then you reach over and go, "Did you hear?
Did
Did you hear it? You try to grab her finger.
Give me the
Stop it. Stop it.
Okay, a different finger then. Look at this, mate. I got this one too.
Look, it's from the internet.
Sorry,
it's
I'll
a-
brighten it up.
It's a beautiful, moving song. Like, it's very moving. And
there's a
when
reason.
Cynthia sings it,
Yeah, so she
like,
kills
so
it.
good.
She kills it.
I mean, I feel like that song's been a cultural touchstone for as long as I can. I mean, how old is the musical itself?
20
Couple
years at
decades,
least, right? I think I want to say 2003 is when it opened, and
gotta
that's
be early
that's off the top of the old noggin.
I mean, the
didn't know when
Glee-
Gravity was discovered, but
Glee, what, 2009?
let's find out.
for
It's
Glee?
earlier. Oh well, would you look at that? Another bingo for Jarvo.
What's that?
Before we fully wrap up the Wicked discussion, which is our talk
Wicked.
about which is our podcast about
A
Boston.
wiki discussion. How do you like those apples?
I do want to jump back to someone saying this Wicked interview. The journalist Tracy Gilchrist is a Hawk Tuah girl for theater kids.
Dude, that's all right.
And
Let's make
speaking
merch.
of Hawk
Let's keep it
Tuah
going.
girl, I did just send a. Can you pull up what I just sent to the group chat?
Oh, no.
Every day we lose the Hawk Tuah girl a little bit more.
Do you do anything with crypto?
Yeah, I do a lot with crypto, actually. I've got a shit ton of Bitcoin and Ethereum.
Oh, yeah. If I want a meme coin, can I give you some tokens?
Yeah,
for
I'll give you my
community?
wallet. I'll give you my wallet.
Okay.
But,
All right, don't launch a meme coin. That's all I'm asking, Haley Welch. Please just don't. We don't need any more meme coins.